Hello and welcome to this year's Japan Women's Conference 2023. My name is Kiran Young Wimberly, and I'm a Presbyterian minister and spiritual director and retreat leader living right now in Northern Ireland. Although I grew up in Japan and Tokyo was my hometown for many, many years. My parents were members of TUC and I grew up in that church. And also, I knew about the Japan Women's Conference basically for as long as I can remember because my mother used to disappear for a weekend every year and go off and be a part of this retreat or conference each year, and was also on the planning committee for some years too. So I knew it was really important to her, and I was a little sad not to have her around for a weekend, but I could tell that it was something that was really meaningful to her. And eventually, when I got older, I was able to actually be a part of one of the conferences in person when I was in college, and I loved it and loved it. So I've been following the conference over the years. I attended last year. I am honored this year to be a part of it as the keynote speaker and to reflect with you, with all gathered in this time and space, wherever we are in the world, to reflect on the new song that our spirits might sing in this new chapter of our lives. I'm going to read a little bit of the description of this conference just to remind all of ourselves why we're here. What are we going to be doing in the next few weeks? And what do we hope to get out of this time? So here is a reminder of that. Sing a new song, the Psalms invite us. These are words we have heard many times, but they take on a new meaning as we emerge from these pandemic years. At this particular point in time, with each of us beginning a new chapter, we ask ourselves afresh, what is the new song we can sing in the coming season? In this year's conference, we will explore the theme, Sing a New Song, both literally and metaphorically. We'll remember songs that have inspired and lifted our spirits, and we'll listen for the song that we might feel called to bring forth. What were the songs that lifted our spirits when we needed encouragement and inspiration? What were the songs our hearts yearned to sing when we couldn't sing together? Were there other kinds of creativity that touched our hearts and gave rise to a new song within us? And as we listen for what inspires and refreshes us, we might explore what leads us toward healing and hope as we move into the future. What new songs do our spirits long to sing now? What do we feel called to create, to bring into being in this season ahead? What is the song God wishes to sing in and through us? As individuals, as women of God, as sisters in Christ, as communities of faith, from the diversity of our backgrounds, contexts, and life stages, how can each of us sing a new song? And what is the new song that we can sing together? In today's conference, we'll be looking back a little bit because in order to look forward and to feel that sense of calling into the future, it's sometimes helpful to look back and see what kind of has comprised our life experiences thus far, particularly when it comes to music and song. Now, I'm aware that not everybody is musical or has, that musical kind of sensibility or proclivity. Some people are drawn to different forms of art or creativity. I do want to bring those into these sessions as well, just as you reflect on what I'm asking you. Maybe keep in mind if music isn't really your thing, then maybe dance or painting or some other form of expression, writing, poetry. So keep those in mind, but we are focusing on songs. And I want to invite you to recollect songs and sounds of your childhood today for this portion. And then the next portion, we're going to think about song in a slightly different way. So for right now, we're going to dip back into our childhoods for a moment. I have to admit that for me, it feels like a really appropriate group to do this with, because so many of the sounds and songs of my childhood are actually based in the place where you are. So it was really fun for me to think back on the sounds and songs that I heard all around me, because I knew you would get it. Not everybody would. I'd have to explain things a little bit more. But I think as soon as I mention certain things, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, which is really quite fun for me because I've lived in so many different places and not everybody has that kind of common point of connection of Japan. So I'm really excited to be able to share those with you, knowing that you'll understand. So the 5 o'clock bell. Now, as I was looking into that again, I realized that maybe the 5 o'clock bell is different in different parts of Japan, or maybe it's at 6 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock. But I think you know what I mean by that, and it's just a part of our lives when we live in that society. Yakimo. My family singing Itsumo, 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 Oishii mono o kudasaru kami-sama, arigato. Amen. Silent Night, sung at TUC by candlelight every Christmas. Silent night, holy night. I'm thinking about also things that you might find on TV or the radio. I remember there were a couple of ads that really stood out in my memory as I was looking back. One was, you might remember this. Eya, eya, umi uchiro, hato ya, akai seki onsen. That was an ad for an onsen. My older sister's music choice, I could imagine her just blasting her music around the house. Thank goodness she had great taste and she really impacted me, influenced me with her music taste. It was the music that I remember hearing the most in our house. I have memories of listening to music with my brother as we sat on the trains going to school together. We'd share our Walkmans or our Discman, and we would entertain ourselves as we were making our long way to school every day. And then very importantly, music in church was huge for me. I was so lucky to go to church at TUC where there was an excellent music program. Every week there was always something wonderful being offered. I know that some of those musicians are still here, and I'm just so thankful for all the work that you've put into leading music over the decades at TUC. And I know that among the other churches that are represented here in this conference, there are great musicians feeding into the lives of those who attend and hear those worship services on a regular basis. So just know and remember that you are creating ripples that you don't even know about through the music that you offer each week. So I remember hearing beautiful hymns each week, and Taizé responses were a big part of our liturgy on a weekly basis, and then there was the musicals that we would do each year, where we would memorize, all the songs for each musical. And one year I had a solo in that, which was a big deal for me, of being a shy little girl, a chance to sing in front of a congregation. So music at TUC was just a big, big, big thing for me. My mom and I used to sing duets or trios with a friend of ours. So it was a good chance for me to be able to sing, again, in front of a group of people. I was a part of CAJ, and they had an excellent choir that had these gorgeous concerts every year. So I was inundated with really great music throughout my entire growing up, and I'm really thankful for that. And I think I've always been seeking music like that in church or in faith communities because I was exposed to great music as I was growing up. So, and it's led me to where I am today, where I record and sing a lot of music for church communities. And it's something that I really, really love. So today I want to give you a chance to reflect on your own life story, your songscape, if you will, of your growing up. What were the sounds and the songs that filled your world as you were growing up? Some of them may have been beautiful. Some of them may have simply been catchy and just got stuck in your head. Some of them may have been more meaningful, or some of them may have been more playful. Maybe a few of them might have been a bit annoying, but we'll not spend too much time with those. We want to think about the songs that you appreciated having as a part of your soundscape or songscape of your childhood. And then we're going to break into the small groups and do a little bit of sharing about what has come to mind. But before we break away to do that, I want to give you a little bit of time to reflect for yourself, because when are we going to take the time to reflect on this if we don't offer a little bit of space for that reflection? I'm going to give us 5 minutes for this reflection time. So if you could take a piece of paper and some pens, some colors, some paints, or whatever you have nearby that you'd like to use for this. And I'm going to allow enough time for you to brainstorm whatever comes to mind. So all those sounds and songs of your childhood, I'm going to have a slide up that gives some prompts for reflection to kind of jog your memory about different things and just see what emerges. And then we're gonna draw our attention to maybe one of those songs that really stands out more than the others. But for now, just let it flow, just see what comes out, and we'll do a little bit more reflection after this. So enjoy your 5 minutes. So I hope that brainstorming time was fruitful for you and that through writing, drawing, exploring, and giving yourself a little bit of space, that you were able to identify some of those songs and sounds that filled your childhood. What was the soundscape, the songscape of your growing up experience? I'd love to hear about it. I may be able to hear bits and pieces here and there, but I think your small group is the one that you're going to be able to share these with. Maybe you'll find that some of them are the same. Some of them might be totally different from each other. It'll be interesting to see within your groups whether you have some commonalities over your soundscapes. So I will leave you to your small groups, and I will see you again after that for the second section of today's conference. So I'll see you later. Bye.